How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. Tonight we have Loyalty to Me. You can say their names and what they do in the band.
I'm Will. I'm the front man, and I also play keys.
I'm Devin. I play rhythm guitar and I sing sometimes.
There we go. Well, Devin, thank you for joining me. Always much appreciated. Love having local bands on here. So thank you for taking the time. The first question I have for you guys, I love asking this because I'm very much a music nerd and I love to know about bands starting out. But what is the origin story of Loyalty to Me? How did you guys all come together? How did the band form? All that jazz.
It started with me. I was doing a solo project, and Loyalty to Me was my solo project at first. I kind of like recorded a few songs that were like full band, so they required a band, but at that point it was still just me. And that was like the end of 2017 into the beginning of 2018, and then kind of spent 2018 finding permanent band members. So cycled through a few different people, tried them out, and then early 2019 we had established the final lineup that we're for the most part still got today. So it kind of morphed throughout that year from a solo project into a band.
There we go. And did you guys know each other prior to this point, or was it just like, I'm curious on like how the kind of, how you guys kind of knew about each other? Did you kind of, put out a post, Will, in regards to looking for new bandmates, or, how did that kind of all come to be, I guess?
So I actually met Will at the first Loyalty to Me show. Or at least
okay.
the first full band Loyalty to Me show. So I wasn't in the band for the first show, but I was there and I met him there. So that was kind of cool because it eventually led to me eventually joining at one point as a fill-in member and then becoming a full-on guitarist in the band. But you did put out a post at one point. This is like really early on, I believe so. And that's how we got Jamie.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, it was really funny, actually. Back when I was looking for bandmates, I made this big post and was kind of just trying to find fill-ins for shows. And Jamie was the only one that stuck from the beginning because she was the only one that I remember I told everyone to fill out all their info in a spreadsheet because I was trying to keep everything organized. And Jamie was the only one, or one of the only ones who actually did it. And I was like, this person gives a shit. So
shouts to Jamie.
That was like proof early on that she was meant to be in the band. Oh.
That's very cool. I always love like hearing about how bands kind of come together, and then I think it's always interesting to hear how like the crazy ways that music allows people to be in bands and stuff. In regards to Will, obviously Loyalty to Me being like the solo project initially, what was kind of like the catalyst to want to have like a full-time band and do it more as a group effort as opposed to more so like doing the solo stuff? Because usually I find that from the many years I've been doing interviewing, it's usually the opposite, where someone's been in a band for a long time and they're like, I'm just not maybe feeling the band thing anymore. Let me go with the solo project. So I feel like you are doing the complete 180 and saying like, listen, solo project isn't working out. Maybe I should have like band members and have more of a like creative input in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I can't play everything.
That's true.
But also, I think once I found the right group of guys, I remember there's a song on our EP called Layover in London. And I remember us having a band practice where previously every song we had was songs that I just wrote on my acoustic guitar, and then I took to the band and they kind of fleshed it out. But for the first time ever at this one practice, we just wrote something from scratch together in a room. And it ended up being that song, Layover in London. And I think that is when it kind of, we might have earlier, but in my brain, that's when it really stuck that I was like, this should be a band, because we wrote that and it came out really awesome and it just felt right. So, and everyone, almost all of us sing. We all kind of like trade off, so I feel like it just made sense for it to be a band.
There we go. Well, very cool. I think it always adds to the reasons why I go to check out bands and have them on. I did, before we hopped on, I was listening to Nuance and Reactor, which were both really great, but I think from two different like musical camps. Like I feel like Reactor reminds me of like some like old school, like more progressive, like almost like swancore sort of stuff, and Nuance had like a different different feeling altogether. So I liked both of them. I don't know, I would say I'm very easy to please. I've been listening to a ton of different genres over the years, so I feel like my vastness of music grows every year. But I really like that the new Nuance had more of like a kind of pop sensibility to it, and I felt like Reactor had like some of those like roots, things that I love. So I feel like you guys definitely hit on both fronts, at least for myself, which segues into another question I have for you guys. For people who maybe aren't as familiar with Loyalty to Me as maybe I am, or other people that are fans of what you guys do, what would you recommend to a new listener in terms of a Loyalty to Me song to check out and listen to kind of give an idea of what you guys are going for?
I would say Nuisance. It's Nuisance, by the
Nuisance.
way.
Okay. Oh shit.
But
Oh man.
seriously,
Oh
I
man.
mean, I'm not just saying that because it's our newest song. I think that it's a good indicator of who we are as a band. I mean, it's got the multiple vocals, it's got the catchy chorus, it's
Hmm.
got the some screaming. So I think it's kind of like the all-arounder song for sure. Devin?
I like that. I'm gonna add the rest actually to that as well. I feel like that song's like really anthemic and really sing alongy and definitely an earworm. So I would say Nuisance is number one, but I'd say the rest is probably a close second for me.
There we
And
go.
both those songs are pretty short. Like both of them clock in like barely over a minute. So I mean 3 minutes, excuse me, barely over three. So we have some longer songs too that are a bit more fleshed out, have a bit of a more obscure structure than just the verse chorus. But those both follow. Actually, you know what? Both those songs have two choruses, not three.
Oh
That's something
wow.
interesting
Okay.
about them. So they kind of come and go and they hit you. So maybe that's why I think that. But
There we go. Well, again, sorry for fucking up the name. I'm very good at doing those sorts of things here on the channel. So, Nuisance, guys, I'll leave links to their YouTube channel. Go give it a listen. Go give them a subscribe. Tell them I sent you. Of course, that'd be awesome. And Nuisance was great. It's the newest song that's out. It came out roughly around 3 weeks ago, and they have some new stuff, I'm sure, in the pipeline. So keep your eyes peeled for some new tunes to be gracing your ears. It's gonna be awesome. So, the next question I have for you guys is, who influenced you starting out in music? Who kind of got you started, creating music and wanting to do music? And then who influences your style more currently, right now?
Will, you got anything, or you want me to go? I think the first album I learned how to play front to back, as even though I play guitar in this band, I started as a bass player, was A Fever You Can't Sweat Out by Panic at the
Oh,
Disco.
all right,
And
all
like
right.
growing up, like I would like lock myself away in my bedroom and I would just put that album on and I'd play like the whole thing from start to finish. And I've maybe done that at least like 10 to 12 times. So that album was definitely influential in learning like how to be a musician and to see how my role in a band fits in. As far as stuff that's kind of newer, I really like the production on some of the new Stand Atlantic stuff. I really like
Yeah.
As It Is new stuff as well. But I've been listening to a lot of heavier stuff as well. The new, the used, The Devil
Oh,
Wears Prada, especially their new record, Color Decay. That's probably my album of 2022 from a rock standpoint. But me and Will are also both very big 5 Seconds of Summer fans. So like I'll go from a playlist and I'll have like a heavy breakdown and then Five Sauce will be on immediately after. I think it's good to have like, it's like how a painter, you have all those different colors on your palette. You need to pull from
sure.
different things. You can't just stick to one thing.
I would agree. I would agree. I like the choice. A huge Prada fan as well. So definitely up there in one of my favorites of this year. But Will, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, it's like Good Charlotte, Yellow Card, um, bands like that. My sister used to let me borrow her CDs, and I know Brand New is a big one for me starting out as well. Um, but I'm listening to a lot more pop and indie now, to be perfectly honest. But like also still a bunch of emo stuff mixed in there. I really like this artist Cave Town. He's like
Yeah. Yeah.
indie bedroom pop, but also emo a little bit. So
Yeah, he's great.
that is like the perfect marriage of vibes for me. That's my current favorite artist, probably. Really into a Biba Doobie as well. Um, the 1975. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you guys kind of hit I feel like you guys kind of hit a nice broad spectrum of like you have some like older like progressive like kind of post-hardcore almost like again the swancore sort of sound, and then vocally you kind of take a lot of influence from like indie pop, like bedroom kind of pop sounds. So I feel like there's a good mix of that. Especially with Nuisance, I felt like that one was a really good indicator of what I'm expecting, future sound to sound like from coming from you guys, which is really cool because I feel like a lot of bands are taking that pop influence now and really embracing it. And I think you guys did a very good job of kind of encapsulating that sort of pop element, where I felt like as I was listening to talking, I was like, okay, I like the hook. It's got that sort of earworm kind of vibe to it, and I think that's always a good basis for me going back to listen to bands that I've had on before, is if they have that sort of like earworm quality to their music where you can really distinctly pick it out, and really enjoyed it. So again, leave links in the description to go check out Loyalty to Me. But I yeah, really enjoyed that, and I think you guys again have that sort of pop mentality to your music, and I think you really hit that stride super well, but keeping it fresh, keeping it different. So definitely give these guys a listen if you're watching this. But the next question, guys, keeping it more current, what are you jamming recently? I think you kind of answered it a little bit, but is there any other artists that you're thinking of that didn't come to you initially?
I'll let Devin go first.
Oh man, I definitely want to take this opportunity to like shout out some local bands. Marissa
Ooh,
Cherry put out a couple of new singles that are really really stellar. I've also been jamming North Vale, which is another really great band from North New Jersey. They
yep,
just put out a song with Ollie from Broadside. So definitely check them out.
the boys. Shouts to Northville.
Oh yeah.
They've been here on the channel. Go check them out too.
Big fan. I'm looking at my history here. And oh, I've really been I really actually like Bleachers, which is
Oh
like Jack
yeah.
Antonoff band. I've been really into them. There's a solo artist named Swaco that I think is really cool. He like
Okay.
kind of started out as a hip hop artist, but now he does like kind of pop punk stuff.
Hmm.
But it's really good. It's really well done. So really like Swaco as well. So those are my two.
There we go. I'm sure you guys saw the announcement of Adjacent Fest. That looks pretty wild. I'm probably gonna wind up making my way out there to go see that. I think it's gonna be such a sick lineup. So guys, if you are going to Adjacent Fest, say what's up to me. I'm probably gonna be at that. And I saw Bleachers was on that, so that's really sick for them, and such a cool lineup. I like that it's just like pretty diverse and mixed up, and there's some like heavier bands and some more like pop and like nostalgic bands. So I'm pretty stoked on that. But the next question I have for you guys, another fun one. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Well, we're about to do a cover of Writing on the Walls by Under Oath at our next
Ooh,
show. So we'll try
wow.
to get a video of that up on our Instagram. So everyone stay posted for that. But I'll let Devin go if there's any prospective covers. Then.
Gotcha. I mean, we're planning on doing this anyway, but I really want to do "Take Me Out" by Franz Ferdinand.
Ooh,
Just something that's like kind of like dancey and throw
yeah.
people a curveball and get people on the dance floor during the middle of a punk show. So,
There we
and I
go.
feel like that's like right in that sweet spot of like mid 2000s. Even though it wasn't a pop punk band, it kind of shared the radio waves like with the Fall Out Boys and the Paramore, so people will know it.
Oh yeah, that's a classic song. I feel like I can, as soon as you said it, I could just I can hear the guitar riff in my head right now. So I feel like it has that nostalgia to it. So definitely like that. Ironically enough, right behind my computer is I have a poster of Underoath between my like lights here. So gotta show respects to the OGs. Love Underoath. So would love to see that.
Yeah, not to cut Will off, but speaking of room decor, you stoked for Scarlet and Violet next week? I see all your Pokemon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I funnily enough, the band I just had on before this, they were asking me about the Pokemon behind me, so absolutely stoked for the new Pokemon guys. If you game, let me know. I'll maybe we should drop your Nintendo Switch code down below. I'll go give you guys
Bring
an
your
ad.
3DS to a show. We'll get some trades in.
Let's listen. I'd be stoked. Let's go. Let's go. The next question I have for you guys, as well as that, guys, if you like Loyalty to Me and you want to hear, if you feel like there's a good song you would love to hear them cover, drop them in the comments. I'm sure they'll love to check it out. Probably give them a good idea of what they want to hear. So go give them some suggestions down below. But the next question I have for you guys, another fun one. What is your favorite food to eat?
I love eggs.
Ooh,
So,
what type of eggs we're talking about, Will? Just eggs in general?
fried eggs. I also like omelets a lot. Just a big eggy boy.
Respect.
It's kind of funny. I've worked in a bunch of restaurants, and like there's something called dippy eggs. Some people call sunny side up eggs
Oh,
dippy eggs.
yes.
And
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's so funny and weird.
Tippy.
But anyway, I don't know why I went on that tangent, but
I love it. It's great.
Sounds like it should be like a candy and not like actual eggs.
yeah.
It might be. Somebody will take this idea and make it into a candy. So give Will the credits, guys. Devin, what do you got for us?
Mine's a curveball. I really like shepherd's pie.
Ooh.
Wow.
Food.
All right.
So
That was a
most
very
people
left
like
field.
haven't even. It's literally mashed potatoes and beef and sautéed veggies. Like everything everybody likes in one dish. So you can't go wrong.
That's true. Mean shepherd pie is good. So I can definitely agree with that.
I shouldn't assume that's everything everyone likes, but it was a bold assumption. But
I mean, listen, you went there, and I respect the dedication to having everybody love shepherd's pie. So I feel like you're pretty. I feel like you're pretty close. Like you could. I feel like a large majority of people would enjoy that sort of food. So I like it, guys. Let us know. Are you a shepherd's pie fan or not? I need to know. Like I need to know where the barometer's at. What percentage are we at? So. Gonna try to read the room on this one. But the next question I have for you guys is a music related question, of course. If you guys were to have a guest feature on an up and coming Loyalty to Me record, who would you love to have on?
Wow. so many options. Devin?
I don't know, honestly. It's definitely something I want to do. Like one thing that's like really great about our band is all four of us currently in the lineup, we all contribute vocally. So it's we're already kind of like fighting for or not fighting, but sharing time at the mic. So because of that unique element, it's not something we've done with our music yet, but it's
Sure.
definitely something that like I'd be open to down the road. What I will say is I definitely love to get a female vocalist on the mic. I think that would open up some new tonal possibilities. I'm really impressed with the stuff Charlotte Sands has been doing. I know
Yes.
she featured on a lot of on Sleeping with Sirens new record, and Under Oath as well, as we were talking about, and rightfully so because she's up and coming and she's tremendously talented. So I think that would be my vote.
Ooh, I like it.
Mine maybe would be, again, I'm a big fan of this. A lot of people aren't, but I like these like hip hop, pop punk kind of crossover things that are going on.
Yeah.
I think Mod Sun on a song would be pretty sick. I really like his take on all of that is one of my favorites for sure. So would really love to get him on a track one day.
I'd like to add Nothing Nowhere to my answer after hearing Will say.
Another good one.
All right, guys, listen. It's come to that time in the interview, my favorite portion of the interview, where I get to tell you guys to do something. And, if you want to do it, it's great. If not, you'll just make me really sad. And I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to do that. So What you do is you go on twitter.com, you tag loyalty to me, you also tag Charlotte Sands, Mod Sun, and Nothing Nowhere, and you type collab question mark. And again,
All on
I'm not
one
illegal.
song.
I'm not all in one song. I'm not a legal scholar, so again, don't at me, but I'm just saying, you put it out in the universe, could happen. So I have a strong feeling that this could happen. So, why don't we make it happen? That's all I'm saying. So let's make it happen, guys. But the next question I have for you, Will and Devin, is if you guys could pick another musical instrument to master, what would it be?
Probably the bassoon. For no good reason. There's no practical reason for me learning the bassoon. I just think it
I
sounds
love it.
cool.
Mine is definitely drums. The coordination between the hands and the feet is really hard for me. So I've never been able to master that one, but I would love to one day.
I feel that. I think as like a guitar player, I can't it's the hand feet coordination. Like the hands, I'm okay with. I've considered myself a master air drummer, but feet work just can't get
Me
it down.
too. That's funny. Yeah.
People see me driving by and they're like, "Man, this guy's got the chops." So I feel like I can hold it down on the top half, but the bottom half, nah. That's I'm a little bit rusty on that front, but.
Mm-hmm.
The next question I have for you guys, Devin kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier. Obviously, I'm a huge nerd, so I feel like I'm obligated to ask you this question. But if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
I'd probably be Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. Not just because of the flying skills, but like if you follow the storyline, Tails is a master mechanic and engineer, and just to have the science chops mixed with being able to fly. Oh, I love it.
I can't.
I love
it's getting blasted out, but
I've been playing Sonic Frontiers all day though, so that's fresh in my mind too.
There we go.
Which is actually not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit.
There we go. You're getting it firsthand from Devin. Will, what do you got for us?
I think Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Ooh,
She's
all right.
a freaking badass. So
I love that answer. You guys are killing it. Obviously, as you can tell, huge Pokemon fan. So I feel like if anyone was to ask me if I had a choice, it'd definitely be Gen 2 Pokemon trainer. That's my go-to.
Love it.
There we go, guys. Next question. If you guys were to compile a dream tour lineup, including loyalty to me, who would be on it?
actually, Nothing Nowhere would be on my dream tour lineup. So
Ooh.
that's one. Maybe we can each pick two, and then it could be a
I like this.
band lineup.
I like this.
I'm gonna say Nothing Nowhere, and let's go with The Used.
Ooh, all right.
I'd probably throw Silverstein and Paramore on that bill as well.
Damn!
Ooh,
Let's go.
This sounds great. I love it, guys. Pre-sale tickets in the description already. We're already manifesting this shit for next year, so be excited. I mean, Paramore's back, so Silverstein's already here. Nothing Nowhere is great. The Used classic, again up there as well. So, guys, pre-sale ticket links below. I don't know why I keep telling you that. You already know. World Tour 2023. Next question, guys, is another fun one as well. I'm sure you've seen your fair share of live shows, but who, in your opinion, puts on a great performance in terms of the bands you've seen?
Honestly, Devin talked about them earlier shortly, but 5 Seconds of Summer is honestly the tightest, best live show that I've ever seen. Really just incredible showman and chemistry and all that. So yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, and honestly, we saw Lauv a couple of months ago, and I was really impressed with his live show as well. I thought it was phenomenal. I think sometimes it's easy to rip on pop music and just like, oh, it's just a four chord thing. But like from a songwriting and a live performance perspective, there's a lot you can learn about from a band, from pop artists and solo artists. And I was really impressed when I saw Alv and Haley Kiyoko, who opened up for him. She was phenomenal as well. So
There we go. I gotta agree with Devin here too as well, because I feel like being in the scene, you kind of get that. I feel like you kind of get that certain way with pop music. You're like pop music, and everybody like puts their hands out, and they're like, "No, no, 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 we're not gonna talk about pop music." And I feel like over the years, initially I used to be pretty bad at it, and now I feel like I'm much cooler in that aspect of like really getting into pop music and
you
enjoying
know
it.
what it is. It's like when you're like getting tattooed or like painting your fingernails black or whatever it is, and trying to be emo, and some kids bullying you for it. You're not going to want to listen to the music they listen to, So it's understandable, like, to have that resentment, in high school, and it's just a growing thing. But like as I get older, it's like, wow, there is a lot of like um, great stuff that you don't want to miss out on.
Oh
So
yeah, oh yeah, and
Lana
I
Del Rey's like, new record you were mentioning, Will, was really good, right?
Yeah, and also like if you go back and listen to like some of that like cheesy Y2K pop, like the songwriting is amazing. Like the Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, like all those songs are so well written, and I learned so much from like listening to the composition of
oh
those
yeah.
songs. Seriously, like really good. I mean, pop music now is great as well, but like I'm just saying, like you can learn so much about like putting songs together. That's a big thing that's I like about pop is like there's a lot more of like I think a problem with some rock music for sure is like especially like kind of technical stuff is like it just sounds like a lot of cool parts and like I like to listen to like really good pop songs where I feel like everything is like really serving the song and like I kind of like to bring that ethos to like rock music,
No,
serving the song always.
I agree with that as well. I think that like I think that as I've gotten older and listened to like more pop music, like I listened to the new Harry Styles record and I really enjoyed that. Dua Lipa is like one of my favorite pop artists right now. Obviously, she's massively popular as well, but I think like finding those kind of different like pop elements, and I gotta give again what Will was saying about early 2000s like pop music. I think they just had this level of hook that even like if you haven't listened to it in a long time and it comes up on like a Spotify playlist or something like that, you already know like how the melody is going to go, how the hooks are, how the song kind of arranged. Maybe I'm a little bit of a nerd in that aspect and I like kind of remember those things, but uh I think you kind of at the very minimum you know that there is like this like hook element to pop music, and that has obviously transcended over the years, but has it also gotten a lot better. I would argue within the past like 10 years as well too. So I gotta again, Will was right on the nail in terms of like pop influences, and like I don't think people should really be afraid of listening to some pop music. I think it helps a lot with the songwriting, and I can tell that has influenced you guys in a way of like how you guys structure your songs out too, because I think like, oh man, this is very like pop kind of structured, but at the same time it has this again unique kind of take on that. And so I gotta give you guys a lot of kudos on what you guys are doing currently.
Thank you.
But the next question I have for you guys, another fun one. Favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Donnie Darko. Favorite TV show changes a lot. Right now, I'm watching this show called Reservation Dogs. Really obsessed with it.
Ooh, okay.
My current favorite.
Honestly, don't have a favorite movie. I'm sorry, I'm lame, but I do have a favorite show, which is Criminal Minds. So,
oh, okay.
Very stoked for season 16 on Thanksgiving.
Wow, Jesus Christ, that is such a long series.
Once you go down that rabbit hole, that's probably why I don't have a favorite movie, to be honest.
It's just because you're watching Criminal. Awesome. The next question I have for you guys: if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one album you could bring with you to spin, what album would that be?
Third Eye Blind, self-titled.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm like giving all these examples that are so different from each other. But yeah, like everything music I've mentioned is like the polar opposite of each other. But yeah, that's my favorite album of all time. So
Solid choice.
definitely nice.
For me, it's probably Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum by Tally Hall. I just don't think I can get that record. And I'd be lonely on an abandoned island, and that album is so fun and whimsy. Like I would, I wouldn't even be as depressed as I would be. So
There we go. Love the choices, guys. Check them out if you haven't already. Definitely will check out Devin's answer because I have never heard of that album, so I'll have to give it a listen. Will's, of course, goated. Love Third Eye Blind. They're awesome. But the question I've been rounding a lot of my interviews out with, guys, is one that I feel like a lot of people can resonate with, which is, what do you want people to take away from your band and what you guys do? Because certainly there's a lot of, nuance in terms of the lyricism and what you guys write about. But when people see you and check out this interview, like, what do you want them to take away from what you guys do creatively?
I think like we definitely have the ethos of like we take the music seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. And I think that's a really important way to move. It's like you want the music to be good and amazing and put all the work into that, but like never be like carrying yourself in a way where you're overly serious or above anyone or
Sure. Yeah.
we're all just kind of doing the same thing. Definitely have that like DIY mindset of supporting each other and lifting up the scene and bands helping other bands. And yeah, I would just say, take your craft seriously, but never take yourself too seriously.
Fair enough. Devin, what do you
Be
got?
humble.
Be humble.
yeah, I'm with him, Will there at all. Like we've definitely made a lot of progress as a band, and like I want to like celebrate that, but at the same time, it's like there's still more work to do, and just rolling the sleeves up and working to be the best musician I can be, and to give back to the scene and to lift up others. And as far as like the songwriting itself, it's just we try to come from a place of all authenticity and. We're not afraid to wear our hearts on our sleeves, but we're not going to shove it in your face either. We like to have fun when we're off the stage, but we definitely want to be in the zone and putting on a good show when we're on the stage.
Here's the other thing. I have one other thing, and that's just I think it's important to remember that there's no timeline. Like things happen when they're meant to happen, and just it's easy to get discouraged when something doesn't take off
Sure,
so
yeah.
quickly, especially when you're like looking at other people who are doing well and stuff like that. But we've really been at this for a while, and we've just been watching like a slow growth, and it's really worked. And I don't know, it's fine. Like there's no timeline, time isn't real, like it just doesn't really like do things at your own pace and it'll happen when it's meant to happen. I mean, I literally before this is unrelated to the band, but I do some co-writing sessions with other people, and I just met up with someone for the first time that like we initially planned to meet up like 6 months ago and we finally met up today, and I love what we came up with. Like there's no timeline to anything, it doesn't matter. Just like because I think that like life can get in the way and it can discourage you. Like if you get busy for a while, like maybe you just need to take a break, but that doesn't mean you have to stop. Like you can always come back to it. The songs will always still be there at the other end of that. So I don't know. That's my whole spiel. Is just like don't worry too much about specific timeline. Just do things when it makes sense for you, and again, the music will always be there. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel that, on as someone who's been doing this for almost 7 years, I find that I always try to think of myself as just someone else in the pond of music purveyors. Like I think there's a lot of bands that work very hard at what they do, and that's awesome. And that's not to discount you guys at all, because I definitely feel like you guys work your asses off as well. But I think there's a level of like, if you need to take a break, you should take a break, because I've known that firsthand, that burnout is not a cool thing. And if anything, it can just stunt your reality of like wanting to do other things. So, taking that time off that you need to is crucial. And, I took a pretty significant stint off in 2021 and also in 2020, just because of the pandemic and stuff. And so I feel like if I didn't do that, I don't know if I would still be doing the channel. So I think there is a level of like, you have to be honest with yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and say like, do I still want to do this? Is this something that I still love to do? And if so, I do need to take this time off to be away from it so I can feel rejuvenated and back onto doing it. And just that, you know, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So,
Mhm.
make sure you take time for yourself. So, wise words from Will. And the follow up question, guys, the question that I've been kind of wondering this entire time is, how the hell did you find out about what I do? I always love asking when bands just message me out of the blue and say, "Hey, I'd love to be on your show." So I'm curious on how you guys found out about what I do, because it's always fun for me, at least.
I think it was just seeing a post on Twitter, because our bassist Brian just sent me a screenshot of I think something you posted on either Twitter or Facebook.
Okay.
I think it was Twitter though. Um, and he was just saying, "This is cool. You should reach out." And then that was it. So, yeah, pretty sure it was Twitter.
Shouts to Tyler. Big love. I don't know how I'll have to give Tyler a shout out on Twitter. So, but the last thing, the most important thing, guys, the reason why you're on here, tell people where they can find loyalty to me at, what you guys have coming up in the future, and where they can find you out on social media.
Yeah, so we're you can find all our music on all the typical streaming services. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, all that good stuff. We have a merch store on Bandcamp if you want to check out anything that's up on there. We're about to do 4 shows in 4 states over the course of the next 2 weekends. We're playing Philly on Saturday,
Ooh, all right.
then Delaware, New Jersey, and New York City the following weekend, and hopefully dropping new music. We have a single that we're sitting on. It's total 180 from a directional standpoint from the last 2 singles, so we saved it for last with intentionally, and hopefully that'll be coming out in 2023.
There we go. Well, Will, do you have anything else to add before I close it out?
At loyalty to me _ on social media, and we're looking to tour next summer. So any bands that are like interested in playing with us in their respective states, definitely reach out, because we're looking for bands to play with around the country. So
yeah,
very cool. Well, guys, you heard it here first. Go check out Loyalty to Me. I'll leave all of the links in the description where you can find out about their band. If you can pick up merch, go grab it. Definitely would be aid to what they do. So, we love to support here. So definitely go do that if you are interested. If you do live in the tri-state area, I'm pretty sure they'll be hitting our area a little bit more frequently. So go out and see them if you have the opportunity to. If not, drop in the comments where you'd love to see them at if they are not coming in this area that you live in. So don't say come to Brazil. I will be watching this like a hawk. So if you say come to Brazil, I'm gonna be very upset. But
I don't know. That would be pretty awesome. But
it's just a typical trope when somebody's like, "Yo, man, come where you guys could come to Brazil." So guys, put come to Brazil in the chat, in the comments, whatever. Let us know. I'll come to Brazil. I don't know. There's got to be enough support for me to come to Brazil, but I'll do it, So go check out Loyalty to Me. They're awesome. I really loved I was going to say nuisance again. Nuance. It's
No,
nuisance. Son of a
Nuisance.
bitch.
You had it right.
Ah! Nuisance.
Okay.
Go check out Nuisance. I can't spell. Obviously, my college degree did not help me out in spelling. So, Nuisance, go check it out. Reactor was my favorite, but
Hell
Nuisance
yeah.
was great as
I love
well. I
that.
loved
Thank
it
you.
all. I'm gonna have to go listen to the rest of it, and you should too. Links in the description. And if you enjoyed this interview, share, like, and subscribe is also going to be up on streaming platforms. So if you don't want to look at me, you can do that. Look at these guys because they're far handsomer than I am. So please
That's
go do
not
that.
true.
Uh, but if you want to listen to the audio, if you're driving home from work and you want to listen to it, it will be on all of the streaming platforms for that as well. And guys, if you liked the video, share, like, and subscribe. It goes a long way. And huge thanks to Loyalty to me for coming on tonight.
All right. Sweet.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.